Hey,
how's it going?
Hey. Not well. Not well for these guys.
Yeah.
Not well. Not well. But anyway, week 6 has come and gone. And a lot of surprises this week, I think. A lot of surprise games, some surprise winners, which we'll get through. Somebody signed to a new team, and somebody's going to be a new starter. So,
Good old
journeyman. So I guess we'll start out with the games from this past week. You want to start it out?
There was no Thursday night game
No.
because of the COVID thing. It got rescheduled, so we'll go into Sunday earlies. The 1-3 Broncos at the 2-2 Patriots. I think we all kind of was figuring the Patriots were going to win this one, and
Boy, were we wrong.
yeah, we were wrong. The Broncos won at 18-12. I mean,
What happened?
A defensive battle.
yeah, defensive battle. I still don't think the Broncos are for real. And the Patriots, this happens to them. You know, a game here and there.
I'm still not sold on. I mean, the Patriots are still.
Right.
They're hurting at a lot of positions. I mean.
And that's what I'm saying. This even happened when Brady was there. Brady got beat by the Browns before. Like
They'd go like 10-6 or 11-5, and you know.
But right now they're 2-2, or they're 2-3 now. So
2-3 now. So.
I think I said this. I believe the first time the Patriots have been under 500 or under
Since 2002, and that was Brady went 9-7 that season, and they missed the playoffs. Well, you kind of said the Patriots. You didn't know if they were gonna win this division. I think you're right.
They may not make the playoffs.
The only thing they got going in their favor is now that you got an extra team on each side, but still, I don't see them getting the wild card spot.
The AFC is pretty loaded with teams right now that are doing pretty good. Now, I don't know.
Even if they do get in, I think it'd be an early exit. The Chiefs, the Ravens, just too good. Steelers. I mean, you never know. There's always upsets, but I just realistically don't see them winning it all this year. So, on to the next one. The 1-4 Texans at the... Was it supposed to be 4-0?
3-0.
The 3-0 Titans?
They missed that week.
Yeah, they had the
bye week.
Okay.
So the Titans won that 42-36. It was kind of a shootout.
Yeah, surprisingly, I thought the Titans would handle them pretty well.
Right. The Texans stayed in there with them. I think it actually went to overtime, didn't it? I think so. So, I mean, what are you guys thinking with the Texans? They're 1-5 now.
I mean, there's still a lot of problems. I mean, you got your quarterback, but everything else is kind of.
They got the highest salary team wise.
Yeah.
My thing is, I think they should start trading away pieces. J.J. Watt.
Yeah, they're gonna have to start maybe a mini rebuild, if that's what you'd call it, and Watson's just gonna have to deal with it, I guess.
And I mean,
he's the one that signed.
If I remember correctly, I don't think they have this year's first-round pick with the Tunsil trade.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, they're gonna.
I don't think they have the first 2 rounds. I don't think
they're gonna have to offload some players and figure something else out.
The only good news about them is at the most important position they've got a guy.
Right.
So
you have everything to build around. So
yeah.
On the flip side, the Titans. What are you guys thinking there? They're 4-0 now.
Derrick Henry shoving people out of the way. I thought he would slow down after last year.
I guess the real question is Tannehill the real deal now?
I think when you have a running back like that.
Decent O-line.
Now they are hurting on their O-line. Taylor Lewan, he's out for the year.
Tore his ACL.
But we can trade him Riley Reef.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
But I think they look legit. I mean,
they'll be one of the top teams in the AFC playoffs.
And the Texans are in the division, and we kind of talked about that. Some division games are just tough. Right, it's tough. Even though the Texans suck, they still played them well. So.
And then kind of going in, we had the 4-1 Browns at the 4-0 Steelers.
Wow.
Steelers won 38-7.
This was a massacre.
Yeah, 38-7.
On Pittsburgh side, Devin Bush tore his ACL, which that's going to be a major hit on the defense. And then if you go to the flip side, somebody got benched. Baker Mayfield got benched for Case Keenum.
But like I said, their coach said that he's still the starter. They just wanted to pull him out because
the game was already out.
It was out of reach. So.
Right.
But is he playing as well as he should there? Probably not.
No.
With all those weapons, they should be doing a lot better. I mean they are 4-2 now, but I don't know. When you got Odell Beckham not getting the ball. And
speaking about the Browns, I can mix the Cowboys in with this. The Browns, 3 different teams have scored 38 points on them. The Ravens, the Steelers, and the Cowboys. The Ravens won by 32 points. The Steelers won by 31. The Cowboys lost by 11. So that just shows you how bad the Cowboys defense is. But the Browns, like you said,
they're a mixed bag.
Yeah,
I mean, they look like they're legit. Sometimes
they need a quarterback.
They dropped to 4-2. Now I will say this about them: this is the best I've seen them in a couple years.
Oh yeah.
I think when Baker first got there, we seen a little bit of flashes, and then last year just kind of didn't go right. And then this year they are 4-2, and both of their losses were tough losses.
Yeah.
So
then another thing, Cleveland came out again that David Njoku requested a trade again.
Oh yeah, that's a piece of news as well.
Probably New England.
I'd say that.
Yeah, I don't know where he would go.
I mean, I could see
the deadline is October 29th.
Yeah.
It's coming up.
So
I think we're going to see a lot of trades.
I think so too.
I think a lot of teams are up against the salary cap, and next year not knowing what it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then with everybody opting out, it could lead into you just start a rookie.
Yep. On to the next one. The 4-1 Ravens at the 1-3-1 Eagles. The Ravens won this 30-28.
What the hell happened?
Yeah,
That's pretty close.
It was bad.
That's close.
Halftime they were shut out. I think the Ravens were, if I remember right, 17-0.
And then here comes the comeback.
Yeah, and they just, the defenses kind of got wore out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were making plays left and right. Now, part of me kind of thinks that the defense wasn't playing like it should.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, there were a couple, two of the touchdowns, Wentz just threw it up there, and they came down with it.
Right.
I mean,
but regardless, it is a win. You guys moved you guys to 5-1. Moved the Eagles to 1-4-1 for the Cowboys at least. So at least the NFC East is still sucking. But a win's a win, regardless if it's a win by a mile or an inch.
Now the thing is, kind of going the past 2 games with the Ravens, it hasn't looked as good as it should.
Right, and that was going to be my next question. Is you guys are 5-1, but it's not a dominating.
Because last
5-1.
Last year at the time, we're going into our bye week this week, but last year we lost the Chiefs, then we went and lost the Browns at 4-2. After the bye week, they turned it around, so who knows what will happen. Hopefully they turn it around.
They got the win, that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Some teams play better on certain days. I mean, Eagles have looked really bad, and they look good that game.
On the flip side for the Eagles, Zach Ertz.
Oh, yeah.
He's out, I think it's 4 to 6 weeks with an ankle injury. And then Miles Sanders. Is that the running back?
Mm-hmm.
Mike Sanders.
I think
it's Mike Sanders.
Then he's actually out for a couple weeks, they said.
Ertz really hasn't done much this year, to be honest with you.
So the Eagles dropped to 1-4-1. And like I said, the NFC East is just a train wreck this year.
They're only a game out of first place.
Yeah, the game out of first place, and you're 1-4-1. But regardless, they haven't looked very good this year either.
No.
So
speaking of that division,
the next game is
the 1-4 football team at the 0-5 Giants. Giants get their first win.
Yep.
20-19.
Season high 20 points.
Wow.
Yeah, season high 20.
I didn't watch any of this game.
I didn't really watch it either.
You know, why would I?
Wait, how many points did the Giants put up against the Cowboys last week? It was over 20.
No, that wasn't a season high. They put a bunch of points up at the Cowboys.
No. I think it was 30-something.
Yeah, it was in the 30s.
So, yeah, I don't know what you say about this game.
I think you're thinking Jets.
No, the Jets.
Yeah, you're thinking Jets. The Giants have put up more than 20.
Yeah.
Anyways, the football team dropped to 1-5.
Yeah, I mean, not much to say about these teams. I mean, they're both not
barrel.
very good. And they're probably both going to have a top 5 pick.
Hey, Giants got the first win. That's all that matters.
Yeah, Giants got their first win. They're on the board now. Haskins was benched, and it doesn't. I mean, they still lost. So, was it the right move benching Haskins? Or
I don't think so. I mean,
is he going to want out of there? We kind of talked about that a little last week, but we won't go too far into this.
I don't know if he's really that good,
right?
To be honest with you,
I don't think he's going to be a starter anywhere else.
The way the track record is, no Ohio State quarterback really turns out to be
really good in the NFL.
Amazing. I mean, really, for him, the only landing spot I could see is probably Pittsburgh, behind Big Ben. But then even from there, I don't think that he'd end up taking the starting job.
Right.
I think it'd go to Rudolph or whoever the hell the other one is.
I mean, any of these teams in the NFC East could technically turn it around and still win the division.
Yeah. Now,
because it sucks so bad.
What if the football team does?
But on
the flip side,
I'm thinking that all the pretty much NFC East, other than one team, they're just going to be playing for draft picks.
On the other side, the Giants. I mean, are they sold on Daniel Jones?
No.
I don't know.
And Barkley's out.
They have no Barkley.
So without Barkley, that's a big hole. That's big shoes to fill.
Come on, now they got Devontae Freeman.
Their receivers are kind of lacking.
Yeah.
Evan Ingram was supposed to be pretty good, and he hasn't really done much. And
pretty much they need help.
Yeah.
So
they need it everywhere.
There's not really much else to say about these two teams. So on to the next one. Let's get it out of the way. The 0-5 Falcons at the 1-4 Vikings. You tell us what happened. The Falcons won 40-23. What happened?
Oh, man, let me tell you. I don't know. Falcons came out playing. I mean, I don't know if it was the coaching change. Because, to be honest with you, with the Falcons, I kind of was confused why they weren't that good this year. Because they've got some good pieces.
Right.
I mean, Calvin Ridley's been tearing it up. Yeah. You got Julio.
Now, do you think it might have been a different game if Julio didn't come back?
I don't know.
Because if I remember, I think Julio had 2 touchdowns against you.
The big problem with the Vikings in this game, first play of the game, Kirk Cousins throws an interception. Then he proceeded to throw 2 more in this game. Probably should have been benched, but the problem is,
who else you got?
The backup's worse than he is. I'm embracing all this. I used to get mad when they lose, but this year it just looks like if you're going to lose, just lose. I don't want you to come into these close games. I don't want you to get a great, number 10 draft pick. Right. I want you to get a top 5 pick. I mean, if you're going to fail. I think they need to overhaul the coaching staff. I think the GM needs to be let go. I personally would like Eric Bieniemy from the Chiefs, their offensive coordinator.
But will he leave?
I think so. For a head coaching job,
right.
I think so.
I think that's a tough thing.
But he's got Mahomes and he's got the whole thing there.
But he could draft a QB.
Right. Basically, it would be his time to become a head coach and show his own talent.
Because with him, he's in Andy Reid's shadow. I don't know who does it. I think Reid kind of calls most of the plays on offense. But then is it kind of like a Josh McDaniel thing? Okay, well, Reid's only got 5 more years, and then is he promised to get the job?
I'd much rather get somebody like him than bring in like a college coach. It's never
This guy knows the NFL.
And I'm done with the defensive coordinator, head coaches right now. Zimmer to me hasn't really been a head coach. He's just a defensive coordinator with the challenge flag. I mean, the offense he doesn't worry about. He lets the coordinator do that. Yep. He doesn't really oversee everything, but he worries too much about the defense, which is not good right now. A couple weeks ago, he's like, I've never had a bad defense since I've been here. Well, you have one now.
Yep.
So
what are you gonna do?
It's one of the worst defenses right now in the league. And yeah, there's injuries. There's young guys in the back. But your offense should be clicking. I mean, you've got the same guys, essentially.
I mean, really, the only one you're missing is Diggs.
Yeah. But Justin Jefferson's been tearing it up. So it's like, I don't know. I think they need to let Zimmer go. They came out with a report today saying that he's not on the hot seat. I don't know why. I know they gave him an extension. Same with Cousins. But sometimes you just got to eat the money and move on.
Yep.
Or
I agree with you.
Draft.
And to me, the earlier you do it, the better. Because then you can figure everything out. I mean, if they fired their GM right now and the coach, they could hire another GM right away.
And
then he could come evaluate everybody. You know what I mean?
While the season's going on.
Because once the playoffs start, talking about Eric Bieniemy, people are going to be interviewing him already. So you can't wait till season's over with. So
now, on the flip side for the defense, you guys are already salary cap kind of tight with Cousins' deal. You're going to have Yannick and then Anthony Harris. And then Danielle Hunter is going to need a deal probably within next year, I'd say.
Well, and to be honest with
Hunter's
you,
going to want paid.
Anthony Harris hasn't looked good this year. So I guess signing him to a long-term contract probably was a good idea, I guess. But to me, I think you trade Reef at left tackle. He's been pretty good this year, actually. I think they ranked him 16th.
Which that's middle of the pack. That's not bad.
But he's also like 32. And his contract's up after this year. So you might as well just get rid of him. They were talking about maybe trade him to the Cowboys.
Well, I could see another one being the Titans.
Kyle Rudolph.
Hasn't really
you can save money by getting rid of him. They were throwing around the Patriots because they needed tight end. That's where the Njoku thing came. I was talking about earlier. Anthony Harris, and to be honest with you, Unique, he's good, but it's probably a 1-year rental. So to me,
let him walk.
Just trade him. You could trade him now.
See, and now
get that pick back.
Right.
Get that pick back.
I know there was kind of some stuff floating around going back to Baltimore saying Gus Edwards might be on the trade block. I don't think they should trade him, but it was saying a lot of rumors were saying that the Vikings could be interested to have him complement Cook.
No.
Now, could there be a Yannick for Gus and then a couple picks in, interchangeable? Who knows?
I don't know.
I know, because what's the problem Baltimore has? They need an edge rusher.
And that would be a good...
There's Yannick.
That'd be a good...
To me, getting rid of these guys...
Trade.
Yeah, there's some good players, but some of them are kind of past their prime. And you need to free up money. And you need to bring some younger guys. And to me, you got to draft a quarterback. This has to be the year you draft a quarterback, because Cousins is not the answer.
Right.
You got to bring somebody in. If you got a top 5 pick, do what you can, move up, take one of these guys.
No.
You might not get Lawrence.
Now here's the question: if you get like a top 5 pick, do you think you should draft a guy, or do you think you should trade that for more picks to start complementing your offensive line? Maybe get somebody on defense.
He wants a quarterback.
You got to get a quarterback. Now that there is, and to be honest with you, if you get more picks, I think you take 2 quarterbacks. They said they said this is one of the deepest quarterback classes. There's a guy from BYU.
Let them battle it out.
Yeah, draft one, and then maybe in like the 4th round or something,
take
draft another one.
Dak Prescott was a 4th rounder, I believe.
You just have to. So, to be honest with you, I don't know why you don't draft a quarterback every year, because you never know.
Now
Brady was a 6th rounder.
Patriots did that all the time. Look at what they flipped. Castle, Garoppolo.
Yep.
They got a bunch of stuff.
Then Brissett.
Yeah.
Yep.
They always were drafted.
Brissett's on the bench right now, though.
You bring them in, show what they can do, and then people are like, "Oh, I need that guy."
Right, right.
Well, right now, the way you guys are sitting, if Haskins wants out, would you be okay if Minnesota took him as a backup?
I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. To be honest with you, hell, there's a lot of, for some reason, the weird thing about this Sean Mannion thing, and all the fans see it, and I see everybody talk about it, he's terrible. He's came in and played, and they say, well, he's really good in the quarterback room with Cousins. What does that mean? That doesn't. He can hold a clipboard and help him study.
Right. He's still losing.
They say Cousins doesn't. The rumor is Cousins doesn't want anybody behind him that's pressuring him.
That's what you need
to take his job.
Right, but that's what you need.
Yeah, you do.
You need somebody to light fire under you.
That's the problem with this coaching staff, I think.
Look what happened to Romo. Look what happened to Flacco. You know, I mean, like, I see you guys are kind of in the position that Baltimore was in.
Yeah.
You got, you know, your pocket quarterback, and then slowly it's because you have Kubiak's the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, and I think that's a problem too.
And then slowly it starts getting to that point where you got to make a change. The only problem is you guys don't have a backup quarterback to just hand the keys to. I mean, I know we've talked about it before. To me, I think you guys should sign Josh Rosen. Because I think he's on
we've talked about that. But
he's on the Buccaneers practice squad, if I remember right.
I think until Zimmer's gone, to be honest with you, I think if he's there and they have a top 5 pick, he'll take a corner or something. I mean, he's not going to get a quarterback.
Right.
You got to make the change.
Now, do you think that if you guys, you know, say you get a corner, do you think that he would prioritize signing Yannick and focusing on the defense more than worry about the offense?
Probably.
Because he's a defensive
That's how he is.
Well,
that's an issue.
Regardless, the Falcons improved to 1-5. The Vikings fall to 1-5.
And then there were kind of some rumors floating that you might not see Matt Ryan and Julio together next year.
No.
Could you see
on the
that?
Falcons side?
I mean,
I don't know. It's just it always seems like, you know, that's been.
We said this before. The Falcons are one of those teams. It's like back and forth, back and forth.
And like right here, they put up 40. They put up 40 points and get their first win. It's like this is the Falcons that we expected them to be, but they have flashes where they look good and then they just fall back.
And was it the coaching change?
Right.
Which it seems like every time that you have an interim head coach, they end up winning a game. I don't know what it is, if they see something different or if it's just, you know, something new in the coaching.
In the huddle.
Yeah. But
we'll move on to the next one. The 1-3 Lions at the 1-4 Jaguars. The Lions won 34-16.
Was not Minshew mania.
Minshew mania has fallen off. Jaguars fall to 1-5. Lions improved to 2-3. Lions, I don't really think are in it for this division though, because the Bears and Packers just are looking too good. But it's good for my with Matthew Stafford, my comeback player of the year potentially. So if the Lions can string together some wins, and then I might be able to, get close to that.
I think kind of what this game showed was this Swift's going to end up being a starting running back.
Good thing I picked him up in fantasy.
Now, on the other hand, Peterson still got it. Old man Peterson.
Yeah, Peterson has a lot of longevity.
Lions got some talent. They've always had a lot. They've always had some talented players, but they just for some reason.
It's the coaching.
It's like the Browns. They're like the Browns, kind of, in a way.
Right.
Except they've kept a quarterback for a long time.
Right. Stafford, he's a solid quarterback. He's not, you know, perfect, but he can get you some wins.
No.
And
the Jaguars are kind of a dumpster fire. I mean,
like I said, I don't know what else to say about it. It's, you know, two bottom barrel teams, kind of like the football team versus the Giants.
And the Jags might be looking for another quarterback.
And I think they said too, Lion-wise, supposedly Marvin Jones could be on the outs. It's a trade candidate for some teams looking for a receiver.
Right.
Then the next one, we had the 1-3-1 Bengals at the 3-2 Colts.
This was actually an exciting game.
Colts
I actually watched this game.
It was looking like the Bengals for
31-27.
The Colts did win, but the Bengals started hot. They jumped all over the Colts 21-0.
Burrow looked pretty good.
Burrow looked good early, but then, you know, the Colts defense kind of settled him down, and ultimately,
it takes time to start learning.
The defense slowed Burrow down, and then Rivers got going, and then the Colts ultimately pulled this one out. But yeah, this is what the Bengals fans want to see from Burrow.
It's a promise.
Even though they lost, it was a tough game. They jumped out to an early lead, and it was exciting if you're a Bengals fan to see. You know, you're scoring 27 points, man. The Jets ain't scoring fucking more than 9. You know what I mean? Like at least the Bengals are putting some points on the board, and Burrow has the mentality
he wants to win.
that he wants to win. And even though they are losing, I can see, you can kind of see that mentality is creeping into the other players.
And then you've got, so Bengal news, their first round pick a couple years ago, 9th overall, was John Ross.
Mm-hmm.
He requested a trade. I mean,
they're 1-4. They dropped to 1-4-1, so he wants to go somewhere to win.
He's good in Madden.
Yeah, speedster. The thing is, I could see him going to Kansas City.
Yeah,
he fits their protocol.
Right.
Fast.
How the hell can they keep signing everybody?
I don't fucking know.
And then I do think the Bengals need to move on from AJ Green. From
Yeah.
what we've been seeing, T. Higgins and Boyd are the top 2 options.
The problem with them last year, they should have traded him when you.
I mean, cause
when he requested it,
they could have got probably a 1st or 2nd round pick out of him at least. Now I don't know.
I don't think they can. No.
I mean, what do you think? Probably maybe a 3rd or 4th.
Probably.
Because he really hasn't done much.
You better get something though, especially if your season's kind of falling downhill.
Then with him, where do you guys think he could go with the trade deadline coming up?
I don't know.
It's always New England.
Yeah.
They need a receiver.
They need receivers.
Yeah, they need receivers.
I mean, other than
the Ravens. The Ravens. You guys got Hollywood Brown, but that would be a really good compliment.
I would be
Brown.
okay with that. I mean,
what would you give up? Like you said, 3rd round. You wouldn't give up more than that.
I think one of the problems with that is it's interdivision. I don't know.
If they might ask for a 2nd round since it's interdivision.
The Raiders.
I think the Raiders would be an option.
That could be a John Ross option too. They like speedy receivers.
Yeah, and if you put John Ross and Henry Ruggs together
on both sides,
neither one can catch the ball after. But other than that, I could see maybe Bears.
Yeah, Bears do need a receiver.
I'll throw one out there. I'll say Packers.
Yeah.
Compliment Devontae Adams.
And that would give Aaron Rodgers one more target.
Yeah, just what he needs.
No, we could just say the Chiefs. Everybody else wants
to. But on the flip side, the Colts improved to 4-2. And like I said, Rivers kind of took him, first quarter, kind of was a dud, but he eventually got going. Rivers is still Rivers. He's still, putting up 300-yard games, and he's doing pretty well as the Colts quarterback.
I'm not 100% sold on him, though.
I'm not 100% either, but this is what Andrew Luck is missing out on.
Yeah.
Andrew Luck could have the Colts 4-2 right now, but instead it's Rivers.
Well, if they would have gave him a fucking offensive line a long time ago like he needed.
But I'm just saying, now they have one, and then he retires.
He got beat up too much.
Yep. Anyways, the Colts are 4-2, and they're one of those teams that I think they're going to make the playoffs, but I don't know how far they're going to go.
It'll be a first round exit.
Yeah,
right.
So.
Then the next game to round out the earlies on Sunday with the 4-1 Bears and the 3-2 Panthers. Bears pulled it out 23-16.
What is going on with the Bears?
I don't know.
They're 5-1 now.
I'm still saying though, the Bears are still the teams they beat are still kind of
bottom of the barrel.
They're not. Well, they're not horrible. I mean, some of them they've beat some horrible ones, but Panthers are still trying to get it together. You know what I mean? So I'm curious when they actually play somebody.
Right,
Panthers over
dropped
500 or
Panthers dropped to 3-3, and like I said, Panthers don't have CMC.
McCaffrey?
Yeah, McCaffrey.
Who needs him?
They don't have him. And like you said, the Bears are just kind of squeaking some of these wins out. They're 5-1 now.
Well, that's all matters.
Now, Foles going to be the consistent answer? We know in the past that he has injury issues.
It just depends on if he's
now. Right, the way it says they're 5-1. Do you guys think that we will see Trubisky be starting quarterback again? By
sometime it's because of an injury, I think so. But naturally, him getting benched, he's playing okay.
I would say the way that it works is if you get a winning record, you might clinch a spot. I'd put Trubisky back in because Foles is only good for a couple games.
Clinch the spot. Let Trubisky play a couple of the late season games, and then put Foles back in for the playoffs.
I don't know the way it sits because I think Trubisky's a free agent right after this year. Because they declined.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't see him contending for a starting job.
I don't either. He'll be a backup somewhere. And on the flip side, though, the Panthers dropped to 3-3. They kind of are who we thought they were. They would be decent
They're going to be a middle of the road team.
Right, middle of the road team. I didn't see them being top.
I think they're a couple years off.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But I do think that they have a bright future.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bridgewater at quarterback. They've got
new head coach
McCaffrey. He's injured right now, but when they get him back, he's a hell of a running back.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of talent there. So I'm just saying I see a bright future. So.
Then to start the Sunday late games, we had
we forgot that Tuesday game.
Yep, we had a Tuesday game.
We had a Tuesday game before the Sunday early.
Oh. Go ahead.
I don't know. Where's the sheet at? I don't know what the score was in that. What did you do? Let's look it up.
Look it up.
Look it up real quick. We got.
You're talking about from last week?
Yeah, the two we.
Okay,
but
we didn't miss.
Yeah, the one that we missed because we did our podcast last week.
It was the Bills at the.
I know it was the Bills.
What was it?
That was week 5.
Tuesday,
October 13th. The Bills at the Titans. The Titans won 42-16.
Okay. Yeah,
Allen didn't show up.
Yeah, Allen didn't show up. Derrick Henry. We talked about this Titans game against the Texans, but that one was they blew them out and killed them. They did have a week off though.
No.
Going into that game, so
yeah, they were still working.
But they've wasted their bye week now, so they've got to go the rest of the season and playing every week, unless if the extension COVID happens. So that I just wanted to cover our bases with that game because we didn't talk about it.
Then we had going into the Sunday late games. We had the 0-5 Jets at the 2-3 Dolphins. Dolphins won that 24-0.
Jets are 0-6 now. Nothing else to say about it except they're a dumpster fire. There is a bit of news, though.
Adam Gase is still the head coach.
Yeah, and I predicted he wouldn't be. I don't know what the hell are they thinking.
They want to keep losing.
They've been bad since he's been there.
Mm-hmm. They want to keep losing to get Trevor.
And I think last year they at least had like 1 or 2 wins by now. I think.
Now I'm right now on the Jets side. You're 0-5.
0-6.
They
dropped to 0-6
now. What do you do? Tank for Trevor?
Yeah, you're going to tank for Trevor. The other piece of news is they got rid of Bell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They got rid of Bell. He went to the Chiefs.
We'll kind of cover that more with Kansas City. But
you tank for Trevor. That's what it is. I mean, I don't. There's
Trevor don't want to go there probably.
Yeah, now would you honestly?
There's nothing else to say about it.
If he ends up pulling an Eli Manning and says he doesn't want to go there, would you blame him?
No, you don't blame him, but I don't know if he's that kind of person. I don't know.
But see, I think there's some mentality, I think, in some players that think like, well, if I go there,
you can turn it.
I can be the one that turns all this around. You know what I mean?
And, Peyton Manning got drafted to a 3-13 Colts team, and it took a couple years, but he had that mentality.
The difference with
I'm going to go to this 3-13 team, and I'm going to be the change that they want.
I think the difference with that is, okay, he went there. They had pieces.
Right, they had.
He's going there, and they have nothing.
Right, I got you.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they end up trading C.J. Mosley this offseason, or I don't know how it's going to work because he opted out before COVID.
Why pay some guy a bunch of money when your team's terrible?
And then supposedly I've been reading, there's kind of rumors going around about them trading that, was it Quentin Williams?
Yeah.
That defensive tackle they took. I mean, other than that, they don't have anything.
What doesn't make sense with them is the players they do draft that are good, they trade them away.
Like Jamal Adams.
So what is for more draft picks?
Right.
That you can draft and let go in 2-3 years.
Same thing the Jags are doing.
Yep, Jags are in the same boat.
I mean, the only appealing thing for the Jets is Frank Gore.
Right.
No.
He's been in the league, not for them, but he's been in the league a long time.
If you really think about it, why doesn't he just say he wants out and go somewhere else?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think somebody would have. Why does he go back to the 49ers? I mean, they've got injury concerns.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Then on the flip side, we have
Dolphins.
the Dolphins.
They rise to 3-3.
Fitzmagic.
Fitzmagic wins 24-0 and gets benched.
Yeah.
So going into their bye week,
and I don't understand, unless it was just because it was against the Jets. But why would you bench him? They're gonna put Tua in.
I think it was all the plan all along.
Mm-hmm. There was a plan, like you said, they wanted to put Tua in second half of the season, but you just won this. You're 3-3. You're in the hunt still, technically, for the division. I don't think they're going to win it.
I don't know. To me, I would have kept Fitzpatrick in there longer. I mean, if you were 0-5, I would say just go ahead and put Tua in. I mean, because right now,
because you're 3-3 and the Bills are 4-2, the division's still in reach.
Yeah.
But they want to see what they have with Tua. So.
Now I wonder if it's something where if Tua kind of doesn't play up to par, I wonder if they'll switch right back to Fitzpatrick, or if he goes in the following game and doesn't do that too hot. I wonder if they'll put Fitzpatrick back in.
Right.
Fitzpatrick, man.
He's like
he's used to this every year.
He's one of the classiest guys.
He is. Not much else to say about that. Moving on to the next one, the 4-0 Packers at the 3-2 Buccaneers. This was kind of shocking. The Buccaneers won this game 38-10, and the Packers jumped out 10-0.
No.
So after that 10-0 lead, they didn't score another point the rest of the game.
Buccaneers, their defense
showed up.
One of the top defenses this year.
After the first quarter, the Buccaneers defense definitely showed up. Brady, was kind of hitting his receivers. They were in rhythm. That drops the Packers to 4-1. I still think the Packers are for real, though. I think this is kind of a one-off. It happens to every team.
I think they'll win the North. But
right, this is a one-off loss, I think. But the Buccaneers rise to 4-2. So Brady has them.
Gronk caught a touchdown pass.
Right.
When they're hot, they're hot. When they're not, it's not.
Yeah, Gronk caught a touchdown pass for the first time since 2018, I believe, is what it said.
No.
So they're 4-2. They're right in the thick of things, and that's right where they want to be.
I think these are two teams that'll probably be in the playoffs. I mean, Buccaneers, I
agree.
They may sneak in there. Either they'll win the division or they'll be a wild card.
Right. I'm with you. So
I guess we go to the Sunday night game. The 4-1 Rams at the 2-3 49ers. 49ers won this one 24-16, and Garoppolo showed up.
So the 49ers are back again.
I guess.
Are they back again, or is this?
See, I think the problem is now with some of these teams, we're starting to see consistency's not key.
Right.
I mean, how do you go from Jimmy G getting benched and now he's fine?
Well, Mostert.
It might have lit a fire under his ass. So, sometimes that some quarterbacks can handle that. Others, like you said, Cousins, he doesn't want the pressure.
No.
Garoppolo gets benched, and then maybe it said, "I gotta go. I gotta be better." So, with that being said, the 49ers rise to 3-3, and the Rams drop to 4-2. So, Seattle's still gonna take that division, I believe, but this kind of makes it a little tighter.
That whole division is pretty good. If you look at it, I mean, the Cardinals are in that division too, right? So
yeah.
I mean, you could almost have all four teams have somewhat of a winning record.
Right. On the Rams side of things, they dropped to 4-2. But are they for real? They've kind of shown these flashes.
They're doing the same thing as the 49ers.
Yeah, they show flashes and then they fall flat, and then they'll show more flashes and fall flat again.
To me, they're kind of like the Falcons. They got a lot of names on paper, but it doesn't seem like it. Ever since they lost that Super Bowl,
it hasn't been translating. Right. Anything else about these two teams, or move on to the Monday Nighters?
Say we go to Monday night.
Monday Nighters. The 4-1 Chiefs at the 4-1 Bills. The Chiefs won this one 26-17. Not a big shocker there. We kind of expected the Chiefs to be winning some games this year.
They ran all over.
The Chiefs rise to 5-1, about where we thought they would be, and the Bills fall to 4-2.
That puts the Bills at 2 losses in a row, which is
kind of weird.
Not what I expected.
Right.
They seemed like they were coming out pretty hot.
They played against 2 pretty good teams, though, the Titans and Chiefs. So
now, big news with the Chiefs.
Just add somebody else.
They're signing everybody. So Le'Veon Bell announced that he signed with the Chiefs. To me, whenever he came out with his list, I knew he was going to the Kansas City. There wasn't no.
Well, he wants a ring.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a long-term thing. I think he'll just be there.
He's a rental this year.
Supposedly, Miami offered him more money. I don't know if maybe it was a 2 or 3 year deal, and he went with Kansas City.
He wants to go where the high-powered offense is.
Which
to a team that's 5-1, it's a whole change of scenery. Getting off
everybody
the Jets.
can catch. Then on the kind of flip side for the Chiefs is the rookie ran all over the Bills defense. 169 yards.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah. Do you think that was kind of a statement saying that he's not going anywhere?
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know how that's going to work. I mean, I don't know how good Bell is anymore, though. You haven't seen much from him for the past couple of years.
Right,
that's kind of a downside because he hasn't had the wear and tear. But then, like you said, I mean, he didn't barely do anything with the Jets, but the Jets are the Jets.
The Chiefs got Bell for $1 million, potentially $2 million. He's guaranteed.
Turn that salary cap off.
Yeah, he's guaranteed $6 million. Not from the Jets, but he's just guaranteed $6 million. He signed a $1 million deal or $1 million deal. So the Jets only are going to have to guarantee him the $5 million remaining if they make the playoffs and if he is a considerable. I don't know how the lingo, how it's written, but what I was reading is if he's a considerable piece of that offense, then he could make an additional $1 million for making the playoffs and being a considerable running back on the team. So then that's one positive for the Jets is at least. If that happens, then they would only have to shell out $4 million instead of $6.
But they're saving. Paid him how many million?
Yeah. Right.
Just paying for a Super Bowl for Bell.
Right. But
kind of the weird thing.
Regardless, that's a positive for the Jets. Is they kind of got out of the contract a little bit at least.
Then the thing with the Chiefs is it's kind of going to be awkward, as soon as next year hits because Damian Williams will come back from the COVID list.
Well, like I said, I don't think Bell's going to be there. I think Bell's there to get a ring and either prove that he can still play so he can go sign a big contract somewhere that he wants.
Right.
I don't know. That's my take on it. I don't know. I mean, maybe he'll surprise us and he'll be good.
The way it is right now with Bell, where would you see next offseason he could go? Where's the options?
Here's my thing, though.
Browns, Packers, Texans.
Well, but paying these running backs. There's so many running backs that are good that are coming out of college.
Texans need a running back, but they don't have a line.
Do you want to pay a guy a bunch of money?
I don't think that's the case anymore. You're better off like the Ravens and Niners and all these other
having 2 or 3 running backs.
Yeah, you've got a committee.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their strong, points and
which is hurting running backs, but
it's hurting the Bills. There's only a couple left. There's only a couple left. The Bills are dropped to 4-2. You guys already kind of said, they've lost 2 in a row.
No.
Do you know what's going on with them?
But those are, you said they're playing good teams, but those are teams you're going to play in the playoffs. So
you're losing to them now. You're probably not going to get past them later on. I don't have anything else.
I mean, they look good. The Bills look good.
I mean, supposedly, I didn't see the end of the game, but supposedly they were talking about Diggs. Was Diggs going off? Or
hey, does that shock me? That's what he did in Minnesota. That's why he's not there.
Yep. But I guess we'll get this last one out of the way.
Here we go.
How long we been on here? It's going to be another.
No, I'll keep it short. The 3-2 Cardinals at the 2-3 Cowboys. The Cardinals dominated us 38-10. We didn't even score our first point until the third quarter. We ended the third quarter and it was 31-3. And then they ended up putting another touchdown up. We got a late touchdown.
Andy Dalton's not looking like the savior.
I don't. Yeah. Cowboys dropped to 2-4. Cardinals rise to 4-2. The Cardinals are who I thought they would be. They're 4-2. They're in the thick of things. They've got a good team. They were showing some Kyler Murray stats kind of early on as I was watching, and they said Kyler Murray won 42 high school games, 3 high school championships, and then I think played for Oklahoma. He was real good in Oklahoma in college. So Murray's the real deal.
He is, but the first quarter of that game, he looked off.
Yes, he did look off,
but overthrowing all the receivers.
But he got it tightened up. He got it tightened up. And that because they went 3-and-out, Cowboys went 3-and-out, and it was just we both looked bad. Zeke fumbled, and then after the fumble, I think is when they got their first score, and then that kind of got them rolling.
They scored 14 points off of those 2 fumbles.
Yep.
So
So the Cardinals, I don't have nothing but good things to say about them. Mm-hmm. You know, Fitzgerald has just been consistent. He's played there for years. The down seasons and the up season, they went to the Super Bowl with him.
It's funny to see.
And then they went 2-14 with him, and he never walked away from him.
It's funny to see what he would actually been stat-wise with an actual quarterback.
I agree. If he would have went with Manning or Brady or Rodgers, what would have he have been?
He had Warner for Palmer and Palmer. Those were the 2.
Right, and those are good quarterbacks, but they're not Brady, Manning.
And then he had probably like 8 other ones that
Matt Leinart.
Yeah.
So nothing but good things to say about them this year, unless if you guys have anything to add. I think they're very well.
They're on the rise.
Right on the rise.
I think the biggest thing's on just your Cowboys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cowboys dropped to 2-4. The NFC East is just bad.
Yeah.
But the fact that we're leading the division at 2-4 just shows you how bad the division itself is. It's very odd. But regardless, Andy Dalton, I don't know if it was just the Cardinals, just because the Cardinals are a good team this year. Mm-hmm. You throw Andy Dalton out there against a good defense. I mean, and Dak was losing these games too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Dak was at least putting up 20 points.
I think if it was Dak was in there, I think he probably would have been like 38, 35.
Right. He would have, but then they still would have won.
But I think you're gonna have to give it time with Dalton.
Right. That's what I'm getting at. Is I think it was just first game.
He's still getting used to the receiver.
Right.
Getting used to the playbook. Still probably.
Can Dalton keep it going? Can he win us some games? Can he piece some games together and get us to 7-9, 8-8, win the division at 7-9?
Well, at this point, you don't need much to win the division.
That's what I'm saying. We'll win a division at 7-9.
As long as you can beat the teams that are in your division,
right,
you're in.
You're going to be in. But do you want to be in with that record?
I know. That's what you're talking about with the Vikings. Yeah. If you're going to lose, then embrace it.
Because I don't want to look forward to saying, we just made the playoffs, but we've been terrible all year. We're going to lose right away.
We made the playoffs and then got smacked around by the Buccaneers.
Even if you think about that, because that can take you from like a 14 or 15th draft pick up to a 19 or 20, and then you're like,
yeah.
But Zeke, 2 fumbles. This season has not looked good. There's some anonymous things going on in the locker rooms.
Mike McCarthy, what did he say? This was the best game they planned for all year.
Yeah, best game they planned for. That obviously was trash. But I guess there's been some players that have
what was the
anonymously. You bring the exact quote up. A player anonymously said something about the coach and the coaching staff. Here it is.
Said angry Cowboys players anonymously letting out their feelings about the coaching staff, saying things just aren't, or they just aren't good at their jobs.
So there you have it. And you're 2-4. You're not good at your job.
And totally unprepared.
Yep, totally unprepared.
That's not good.
And that's exactly what it is. We're 2-4. We're unprepared.
And I guess you got to fire your defense coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
You're on pace to be the worst defense.
Yep, I was going to get to that next. We've given up the most through the first 6 games in NFL history. We're on pace to be the worst defense in NFL history. How we have 2 wins with that statistic is beyond me. Other than the fact that it's an offensive league. Mm-hmm. Our offense has done just enough. I think it was the Falcons game and then the Giants game. Mm-hmm. We did just enough to win, but we still gave up a fuck ton of points in those wins. So the defense is just historically bad.
The defense baffles me because your front 7 has some really good players.
We do have some injuries, though, to the front 7.
Yeah. I mean, I understand the secondary.
Yeah. The O-line as well. Yeah. Dalton was behind the O-line. We have 2 rookies starting. Not the center, but the right guard.
Yeah, what happened to Zach Martin? He got hurt in that game.
Yeah, he did. I don't know exactly what happened to him. No, it was the center. The center and the right tackle. The right guard was was the one that was okay. The center and the right tackle are both rookies.
Yeah, because Frederick retired, and then
so we do have kind of a weaker O line than we normally have. So I don't know how much that's playing into it. Dalton didn't look great at all, but there was some plays that scared me. There, it was right there when he almost got a safety. The guy got right through the line, and Dalton was just tossing it just to get rid of it. And it's like, man, you can't just let the guys tee off on your quarterback.
I think Dalton will settle in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do think on the flip side, Dalton's not like Dak. He doesn't really have the mobility.
Right.
Because, a lot of those times Dak
he is a pocket quarterback like the Joe Flacco, Cousins.
Mm-hmm. But so far, the Cowboys, the problem is the defense for the most part.
It's the defense.
You've been putting up points. Now, you've gotten behind in some games.
Right.
And then you've came back, but that was Dak.
Now, to me, the way to fix it, you got to get
rid of the defensive coordinator.
And this is something you might want to call Earl Thomas.
Yep.
I don't know. You guys for some reason didn't think was good. You need some guy that's going to be in charge of that secondary.
The problem right now, though, can you afford anybody?
Right. I don't know.
There's a lot of money. They showed a list of all the players you guys are paying. I mean, there's a lot of money wrapped up, especially the offensive line.
Well, you got You got Zeke. You're paying Dak the tag money.
Cooper.
Zach Martin.
Lawrence.
Jalen Smith.
Collins. Who else is on that?
The left tackle.
Sean
Tyrone.
Lee. Yep. Tyrone Smith.
DeMarcus Lawrence.
And he's hurt.
Lawrence on the defense. We got money wrapped up.
On the flip side, while I'm thinking about it, you guys put Dak on the IR, and then you guys activated Van Der Esch back to the...
Okay, so Van Der Esch is back.
Which that should help out, but...
Yeah, see, that was another thing. So there was some injuries on the defense that we were waiting to get some guys back. But
Aldon Smith, you think they'd be getting enough pressure up front that you would actually...
With Lawrence and Smith.
Well, you got Griffin there now, too.
Yeah.
But anyways, the last thing I can say about it is, McCarthy, we got him in the offseason. I'm wondering, is it just him implementing a new system and the players aren't ready for it yet? Because it was a weird offseason, COVID offseason.
To be honest with you, coming from a Vikings fan, I saw him coach twice a year against the Packers. His offense is kind of stale.
It's old.
It's old. He's old school thinking. And that's the people he hires, which is the problem with your defense, I think.
Right.
Same problem with our defense right now. I don't think it was the right choice to hire him as coach.
Right. We need a younger guy, Eric Bieniemy.
Especially when you start hearing now he just started and now the players are kind of
that's not good.
Because he brought in a defense coordinator. Kellen Moore is your offensive coordinator, which he stayed on. So I think that's kind of why Dak was... The offense still somewhat was about the same.
Well, we don't know those players that are talking. Could be defensive players talking about the defensive coordinator.
Right, it could be.
We don't know. But
that's all I have to say about the boys.
That's the wrap up for week 6. Kind of go over the pick'ems. I came in last for 6-8, so I'm 55-36 overall for the season.
I came in second to last this week at 8-6. But I lead with 62-29.
I came in first on this week at 9-5. I'm 59-32 now, so I'm second in the actual overall pick'ems. Our week 5, we all lost that last game. That put me at 10-4 for week 5.
I went to 8-6, and
I was 9-5.
You were 9-5, so I won week 5 as well.
Won 2 weeks in a row.
So 2 weeks in a row, I'm getting there.
So then we got week 7. The teams on the bye is going to be the Vikings, Dolphins, Colts, and the Ravens.
Okay.
So we're going to be kind of bored this weekend.
At least I can't lose this week.
So we got the Thursday night game. We got the 1-5 Giants and the 1-4 Eagles.
Well, isn't it the 1-3-1 or is it 1-4-1?
1-4-1.
Oh, 1-4. I guess I didn't see that.
Yeah, you forgot to tag the
in there. I'm gonna be honest. I'm going Giants.
You're gonna go Giants 1-5. I'm taking the Eagles. I think the Eagles have a little more.
I'm gonna take the Eagles. Because it struck me last week how much they kept up with the Ravens.
That's the Thursday night game.
Thursday night game.
So the Sunday earlies. This one is going to be a good one. The 5-0 Steelers at the 5-0 Titans. Who do you got?
I got Titans
taking their first loss.
Titans are going to win.
Titans are going to win.
Oh,
ooh, buddy. I'm going to go Titans as well.
I am too. Derrick Henry, I think. I don't know. I mean, I know the Steelers got a good defense.
Well, they just lost Devin Bush. Now, next game we got the 2-4 Cowboys at the 1-5 football team. You know what? I'm gonna take the football team.
Oh boy, you can't do that to me. Now I'll say this: I'm taking the Cowboys. I am taking the Cowboys. Last week though, the Cardinals was on my mind. I thought that they would beat us, but I went with my heart. Mm-hmm. This one, I really do think the Cowboys are going to win. I think the football team.
I really don't. I honestly, I don't know. I got a feeling. You got a
feeling Washington's going to turn it around.
I think this will be. I think Washington will surprise you, and they're going to pick up a win.
I'm going to go with the Cowboys.
Kind of with the same reason I'm going. Washington is just kind of bottom barrel.
I mean, you got Kyle Allen. I don't know. I just don't know.
I think this game is the game that is key to getting us turned. If we lose this game, then we might as well embrace a losing season. We need to win this game.
Okay. If they end up beating you guys, does that put them in first in the division?
Yeah, because we would drop to 2-5. They would rise to 2-5, and they would have
the division to football.
Every week, somebody new is going to lead that division.
Yeah. On to the next one. The 4-2 Bills at the 0-6 Jets. I am not taking the Jets.
This is the upset of the. No, I'm just joking.
It might. You never know.
No,
I'm taking the Bills. This is kind of like Cowboys getting turned around. The Bills are 2 losses in a row. This is the one that's going to get them.
It's the perfect game to get you back on track.
Get back on track.
I think the next one we got the 3-3 Panthers and 3-2 Saints. I think the Saints are going to win this.
I think the Saints are going to win it as well because they had a bye week. They had the extra week off to prepare.
And then I think, I don't know if Michael Thomas is close to coming back.
Probably, I would assume so.
Next game, we got the 4-1 Packers at the 1-5 Texans.
It's the Packers are going to get back on track. They're angry about this loss last week. So
next one.
Oh, I'm taking the Packers as well. I forgot to say that.
Next one, we got the 4-2 Browns at the 1-4 and 1 Bengals. You know what? I want to go Bengals.
I'm thinking about it because the Bengals played the Colts pretty good, and the Browns.
I got this feeling that they're going to catch them off guard.
You're going Bengals. I got to go Browns.
Sweetie, stop! You're getting late on me.
You know what?
I'm going with logic. I just think that the Browns had a bad loss.
Yeah, but
I think they're going to come back and.
I think the Bengals are going to catch them off guard.
I never know.
I can see it happening.
I can see it happening too. That's why I'm kind of.
You're up in the.
And you know why?
Because Burrow's been playing good. Like Baker's not playing.
It's always these interdivision.
Yep, interdivision.
That you end up losing one of these weird ones.
I'm going Bengals.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw a wild card out there. I'll go Bengals.
Next one we got the 2-3 Lions at the 1-5 Falcons. I feel this could go either way.
Yeah, I do too because the Falcons just put up 40 points, but is it a one-off?
I'm going Falcons.
I'm going Lions.
I think they're kind of getting.
I'm going Lions. I gotta believe in Matt Stafford to get this one.
I'm gonna go with Falcons.
You have a feeling?
I got a feeling.
The good thing I noticed about this week, though, we're picking separate. Yeah. So at least one of us is picking opposite here.
We got the late Sunday game starting. So we got the 5-0 Seahawks. 4-2 Cardinals.
You know what? I'm going Cardinals. The Seahawks defense is terrible.
So you don't think
they've almost lost some of these games.
Mm-hmm.
Their offense is really good, but that defense is not good.
You know what,
I think Kyler Murray's going to run all over them. I think they'll put up points, but I don't know. I think it's an upset.
Hey, I gotta go Seahawks. Wilson's my quarterback in fantasy.
I'm going Seahawks as well.
They got baby Megatron, Metcalf. I think Seahawks.
Like I said, they're going to put up points.
I've got a weird feeling this could go either way.
I'm with you though. I think that the Cardinals can do it.
Murray can have a real bad game, or this is going to end up being a shootout.
No.
And I can see, it end up going down to Wilson, makes another game-winning drive.
You never know. Wilson's playing pretty good this year.
Next one, we got 1-5 Jags and the 1-4 Chargers.
This one can go either way, but I'm going Chargers.
I'm going baby Herbert.
Yep, I am too. Herbert, he's been playing really good and going up against this team.
Yeah, and Minshew Mania has lost its
touch.
So
Next one, we got the 3-3 Niners at the 2-3 Patriots. Honestly, I feel this one could go either way depending on how the quarterback
plays. Garoppolo's facing his former team.
Mostert's hurt.
Yeah, but McKinnon played pretty good when he was in there.
I'm going to go
Is Cam Newton back?
Yeah, I'm going Niners, though.
I'm going Patriots. I don't think Bill Belichick is going to let the Patriots fall too far down. I really don't.
I'm going to go Niners.
It might not be up to Belichick. It might just be a bad team this year, but...
Next one, we got the 5-1 Chiefs at the 2-3 Broncos, and the Broncos just upset the Patriots.
I don't think the Broncos will upset the Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs will do it.
I'm taking the Chiefs.
It's a divisional game, but
yeah, it is.
I don't know. The Chiefs are too much.
Next one, we got the Sunday night. 4-2 Bucks and the 3-2 Raiders.
You know what? I'm taking the Raiders.
So am I.
I'm taking the Raiders. I just have a feeling. I have a feeling about it.
Too.
You know what, guys? We're gonna change it up. I'm taking Bucks.
Taking the Bucks.
Next one, we got Monday night, 5-1 Bears and the 4-2 Rams.
Ooh.
Honestly, I think this one could go either way again.
Yeah,
I think
these are some good games.
I'm gonna go with the Rams. I think the Bears catch a good team this week.
Real.
Yeah, and I think the Rams put up enough points.
I'm going Bears. I'm going Bears. I have a feeling that the Bears are playing well this year. They're winning games.
They are. But the Rams, when they get hot...
Yeah, I know, and I'm with you, so... Yeah. Part of it is I'm just choosing...
My biggest thing is it Donald? Can Donald save?
It could go either way.
I'm taking the Bears. I'm all in on
Donald might injure Foles in this game.
Trubisky, baby.
Trubisky comes back in.
I'm gonna go with the Bears.
So that wraps up the Week 7 pick'ems.
Well, guys.
I guess that's it.
I guess that's it.
I guess that's
one last thing, the bye week. Once again, you already stated it, but the Vikings, Dolphins, Colts, and Ravens are on bye week.
So we're not gonna have a whole lot to talk about.
But the Cowboys do have a game.
This is going to be one of the first weeks that all the games look like they're going to go as scheduled.
Right.
Hopefully.
So
I guess kind of we'll stay tuned, guys. Like us on Facebook, subscribe on our YouTube channel, and then maybe next week trade deadline's coming up. Maybe we'll see if we
have a little more to talk about.
Maybe we'll see if we get some designations or who we'd want our team to go after if we get one player.
Yeah, we can do that.
Alrighty.
All right.
See you later.
Later.
Peace.